Well, Yuchi, you're our resident Sky Striker expert. Is Striker hard to play? Like, do you think objectively it's difficult to play? Like, I mean, look, I can't act like I'm a Striker expert. It's not that hard to play, right? Prog theme. Old Striker needed a brain to. I mean, maybe old Striker, but like, this is DPE Striker. Like, it's not that hard, right? Like, I think in this build, just take out Prosperity, put in Talents. There you go. There's the deck. Real Striker players like to talk. Yeah. That's just because they're fucking elite. They're cringy elitists. I don't dispute that. Striker players do act like the deck is the most complicated and most skillful deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! In fact, I think they still kind of have like that blind ideal that like, we're the real Striker players and we're so smart. Press 1 chat if it's so difficult to check graveyard for 30 minutes. Like, it's so difficult. Check grave. Can I see your graveyard? Okay, so yeah, can I see your graveyard again? What do you have in your graveyard? Okay. Oops, I just won a YCS. There you go. That's Sky Striker. It's so hard, Chad. Just check your opponent's graveyard for 30 minutes. Attack with Kaina. GG. It's not that hard to. I don't think the deck is. I think Striker players act like it's hard to play, but I don't think it's that hard. You guys want to hear a hot take that I've come to the conclusion of, and I don't think you guys are gonna like this, but I think I'm comfortable with it. And I feel I just have to tell someone. And I feel confident this is gonna age like fairly well. Pot of Prosperity's kind of overrated. And I don't really think it's that good of a card. There, I said it. Like I actually think it's one of I think it might be the most overrated card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And like the entire game right now, not ever. In the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, I think Prosperity is the single most overrated card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bad take. Okay, fair enough. I think. Why is it in this deck? Someone explain why it's in this deck. I don't think you do 6 cards, right? Unless you're just saying I'm only playing Sky Striker card. Because why is it in this deck? Someone just tell me. To get to engage? I mean, you mean the card that they can already search for with Shizuku? And engage is limited. It's not like you have 3 engage. Like how is digging 6 cards really gonna get you that one specific card? Hey folks, it's just a scuffed Pot of Duality. Okay, let me explain, chat, why I don't think Prosperity is like that good. Or I'm not saying it's bad. In Strikers, it's weird, but it's not overrated. Well, I mean, but that's part of it though, Selza. People are throwing Prosperity in like every deck, and I'm like, why is it in this Striker deck? For what point? I see it in what's another deck people put it in, and I'm just like, it shouldn't be there. Do people play it in Dragon Link, chat? Do people play Prosperity in Dragon Link? That's like another deck where like, why are you playing Prosperity? Like, it shouldn't be in Dragon Link. I don't even like it in the freaking Sword Soul deck. Like, I don't think it's good in that deck either. Nah, sometimes, no. Okay, well, all right, here, I'll give you examples. It shouldn't be in Virtual World. It shouldn't be in Striker. I don't think it should be in Sword Soul. And is there another, like, good deck? It's bad in Don't tell Big Pimpin' that. It is bad in Sword. Don't tell Big Pimpin' that. But my point is, it's not that good. Especially when you dig 6 cards, right? Because when you dig 6 cards, you're basically either saying that you're playing a bunch of cards that you shouldn't be playing anyways because you never use them. So like, why are you even playing them? Or a lot of times, chat, other than like in Invoked, Yuchi gets it. I'll read what Yuchi says in a second. A lot of times, these decks have effects that like organically draw you a card, and then you completely lose access to that. Like the blue Sword Soul. So it's like, okay, I get the dig for 6, but I also lose my only draw effect. Like, why not just play a lot? Since a lot of these decks can just run 3 of everything, why not just play Desires? Get an extra card and get the draw too? And I still get to do battle damage? Like, what? Sometimes you just need a name for Moyi. Sometimes you want to dig for Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. That card's also just bad in that deck. But post side, you need to get to Sanctum. Okay, that's the only thing I will give it, chat. The only thing I will give it is that it helps you dig for side deck cards. That's it. Like being able to dig in game 3 for like an even, if you're going second and you're playing against like Phantom Knights or what's another deck that like doesn't actually make negation or spell and trap. Let's say you were playing against like the Lyraloose deck and you dug for 6 and then you dug for like an evenly match. All right, I'll give you that. That's actually like, that's pretty nuts, right? But in general, it's the only pot card that gives you 1 card and you can't draw and you basically don't do battle damage the turn you use it. Like, I don't think it's that good. That's just my opinion. It's good in some decks. Blindly playing it in every deck is dumb. Yuchi is spitting facts tonight. All I'm saying is every deck is playing it, chat. Like, I see Phantom Knights aren't. I see so many people playing Prosperity, and I'm just like, this card's not that good. I'd rather play Talents. I sided out anyways? Oh! Cap GW. Who's really right then, sir? Desires is still the best pot? I still think Extravagance is the best pot, to be honest. My only problem with Extravagance, chat, is if someone activated Extravagance, would you ash it, chat? Would you ash it? That's my only problem with Extravagance is that it can't play around negation. Like if you have to throw it out there as like your first move. That's the only problem with it. Is like if you're playing against Sword Soul, they're just gonna use their negate on it. Like it has to get, it's just gonna get negated. Like that's the biggest problem, is it gets negated, like a lot. Cap is right. No, shut up. I am right. Press 1 if this is the way, chat. 3 Desires, 3 Fusion Destiny, 3 Dasher, 3 Celestial. That's the real fucking way, boys. That's the real way. Yeah, that's the real way, chat. 3 Desires, 3 Fusion Destiny, 3 Dasher, 3 Celestial. I mean, let's play some Malicious in there too. Prosperity and VW is good because that deck is mega bricky. They play both Desires and Prosperity. But so, okay, my argument with that is, chat, no meta deck, right? How many cards, when you activate Desires, you have what, 6 cards? There shouldn't be a deck in the game, chat. There's not a single deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? That if you give them 6 cards, should not be able to combo. If that deck exists, then like it shouldn't exist. And in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, chat, Phantom Knights can do their entire combo on 1 card. Tour Guide is like full combo and they make like 8 cards out of 1. Madoche is the same way. If I give you 6 cards, it doesn't matter what the 6 cards are. If you can't full combo with them, then like your deck just shouldn't, like your deck's unplayable. So you can't really argue me. You can't argue to me like, oh Cap, me specifically getting that Lulu made my whole hand good. Like, bro, I gave you 6 cards. Like, figure it out. You know what I mean? That's my point. My point sells it is, if you can resolve Prosperity and combo, then you should be able to resolve Desires, take the extra card and combo too. I don't care what card you got, unless it's like Desires. I used Desires and drew 2 more Desires. Like, okay, that's not gonna happen hardly ever, but you know what I mean? They play both? Yeah, but they just shouldn't. Like, I'm really trying to think of a deck, chat, that Prosperity is exclusively better in. Maybe the only deck I can come to is Fluunderies, because Fluunderies also just doesn't need, that's the other element I have with like the problem, or the other problem that I have with it, right? If you're a player who's like, oh, I can activate Prosperity for 6 every game, then what you're basically telling me is you have a bunch of shitty cards in your extra deck that you never use. So why are they even in there to begin with? Unless you're a deck like Altergeist or Fluander, where Fluander can never use his extra deck, so who cares what they put in it? They can't special summon. Or Altergeist, you only summon 1 monster. Like, your extra deck should kind of be important, like a little bit. You know what I mean? If you're just playing Eldritch, well, Eldritch is the same thing as Eldritch is the same thing as Altergeist. Like, you might summon 1 card from your entire extra deck, right? But I mean like a combo deck. Virtual World is a combo deck. There shouldn't be 6 cards in your extra deck that you never use in a combo deck, chat. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of another combo, like Sword Soul. It's a combo deck. Why are you playing 6 cards in your extra deck that you literally never use? Play better cards. Play more copies of the good cards. I don't know. Figure it out. That's all I'm saying. There are combo decks that no longer need... Well, then hold on. hold on. Take this, Yu-Gi-Oh community. If you guys are now telling me that we are at the point in Yu-Gi-Oh where combo decks don't even need more than like 10 spots, then where's this whole argument about the extra? You guys remember that argument of the extra deck needs to be bigger, Cap? Where'd that argument come from then? If now people are telling me the exact opposite, like, oh, well, the extra deck it's not even that important. Like, where'd this whole argument of Cap G, the extra deck should go to 20? You guys remember that? When that was like a whole thing? The extra deck should go to 20 Cap G, 15 isn't enough Cap G? Like, where'd that argument come from? Because now I feel like the community's speaking out of both sides of the mouth, because both of them can't be true. Because I'm perfectly fine with like control decks not needing the extra deck. Like, that's fine. A lot of them don't even have extra deck cards. But if a combo deck doesn't need this extra deck, then this whole Yu-Gi-Oh needs 20 cards in the extra deck, that argument was always bad then, I guess. It depends on the deck. Goalpost. How many cards in your Bujin extra deck do you never summon? But Bujin's control, though. Bujin would be very similar to Ultrageist, right? Bujin's just like Ultrageist. Susono Wu is Hextia. Susono Wu's the only card you need to summon. I mean, maybe you can go for Kakatsuchi like once in a while, but Bujin's it's not a combo, it's a control deck. You're only gonna summon from your extra deck one monster, really. Utility cards in the extra deck exist. There's some cards that just don't come up in these types of decks that don't need a billion cards in the extra deck to combo. This doesn't apply to all combo decks. So then, again, like, why are you running them? Okay, I'll put it like this. Big Pimpin', how many times have you summoned Crimson Blader? And then tell me how many duels you've played. That's like a prime example. Why is Crimson Blader like even in your deck? For the one time that you summon it against Drytron and make it so they can't summon Meteonis? Like 1 out of every 500. It will. Yeah, there you go, chat. Can I get a copium in the stream? If don't worry, Cap. When that one duel in regionals comes up, he'll be so glad that he played it. Like, why are you playing a card that'll come up 1 out of every 100 duels? Like that's my point, Salza. You can say you're saying like, oh, well, Crimson Blader is that utility card, Cap, and I'm saying no, it doesn't come up enough. It doesn't come up enough to even warrant it being in the deck. Like, just I don't know what the card is, but just play another card. Because if it's never coming up, then don't play it for that one in 62 duels. Like that card is not worth playing at that point. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the point of this argument is, chat, but I did like having it. It's for the Soul Sword Mirror? Is that the matchup? I honestly don't know what the matchup is, Yuji. I'm like, is it so they can't summon like Herald of Ultimateness? Like, what is the matchup? Like, I don't know what no one's ever told me what the matchup is that makes like Crimson Blader even worth running. I'm like, last time I remember Crimson Blader being good was like Dragon Rulers, I guess. That sounds like me and Ophion. But Ophion's good against every fusion and every synchro deck since the beginning of time, though. Like, Ophion has always been a destroyer of fusion and synchros. So, like, if you play those archetypes, you just win, because there's no good synchro deck that just summons, like, 3s and 4s. Like, they always go for 7s, 8s, 10s, and shit. You don't even play these decks to understand them. It's pointless. No. Now who's moving goalposts? Now you're using the old, you didn't play in the NFL, so you can't talk. No, chat. Is that legitimate? No, that's not a legitimate argument. You can't use you don't play the format, you don't, no. You can't tell a coach that, like, the coach doesn't know football because they didn't play. No, that's not a good argument. It's just for the Sword Soul Mirror. That name is hard to say. What card are you saying I should replace? Oh no, that I can't tell you. That I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that, Big Pimpin'. I can't tell you like what card you should. I'm just telling you that card has not justified its spot in your deck. That there has to be something else in the stratosphere that's better. Like, there just has to be. That's what I'm saying. I can't tell you what that card is, because like then I really don't know enough about Sword Soul to say like, well, you go into 7s this amount of times, or you go into 7s only if 8s don't work, or like I can't really tell you that. But I can just tell you like those cards don't justify themselves being in your extra deck. And I guess it somehow connects to prosperity. I kind of forgot. But anyways, I'm reading more of the Twitch chat. Smitty says, if you solely rely on your side deck to win matches, then that's terrible. You want at least something that's accessible in the extra deck, something that you can go into anytime, so you play through most boards. That's why extra deck plays cards for certain matchups. Yeah, but Smitty, if you're always banishing those cards, then like how relevant is that? Like, okay, how relevant is, well, Cap, I'm keeping this card, I play this card for this specific situation, but I always like, I mean, I guess you could say, well, Cap, I'll just pivot and I won't banish that specific card then, but is it like, okay, so then you're playing that card for this very, very, very small situation? Like, I don't know, Chad. I mean, I feel like that's what the side deck's for.